here we are again on the Browns, part 2! Alright, let's finish talking about Trek. Now, Wednesday and Thursday was just a normal day. In fact, Thursday, I had a better night's sleep than Wednesday. However, after that, Friday was crazy. Saturday was basically a wrap-up. There was a lot that technically happened, just as much as Friday, but when I wrote it in my journal, I put more chapters. Friday was very huge, and I'm not talking about the hoedown. So, as we started on the trek, we were almost in front. We never been in front before, We were almost in front, and instead two people wanted to butt in front of us and be in front, so that's what happened. After we spent 1 mile on the trail, we did the women's pool, and I took a green flag cart that was technically way in the back. We were going in front, but then we had to pull over to get more people, and then more people got in front of us. Eventually, my family's flag was in front, but I wasn't pulling my family's car. I was pulling someone else's, so it was still disappointing that we never got in front. We started lining up for the women's pool, and they all came up, and we were all sitting there silent. And there were probably some people who felt eager to help them, but they couldn't. So they just watched the women pass by, and then they had a devotional all together. And then I kind of tried to write in my journal and stuff like that, and that was probably the last time I had the time to write in my journal, because then once it was lunchtime, I didn't have time to write in my journal because that Friday morning I realized I still had food from Wednesday that I didn't finish, so I finished that food. Trek games, we did all the Trek games because since the tents were so wet from Thursday night, before we did the women's pool and anything like that, we played Trek games. We played the Walk of Faith, which we beat. There was a team of the Johnsons and team of the Cars, and we beat the Johnsons multiple times. We won at tug of war, not on all the rounds, just on 2 out of 3, so we lost just 1 round. All right, and then we played other games, and we played horseshoes, and we played Hit the King, and we won most of the games, and some we just lost. And then we went to the trading post, and that's the shop, and that since that was our next station, there was nothing to do but buy stuff, so I decided to use my beads, but I only used 10 of them. So with the last 15 beads I had, I just kept them, and they're still here somewhere. My mom probably has them. The last time I was working on my journal at camp, they call us back over to do the last station. Then, after we finished our trek, we set up tents, and we unpacked our stuff for the last time, and then we were called down for the hoedown right after we finished dinner, and so I didn't get time to work on my journal, so from Friday lunch all the way to the end of the trek, I've been doing at home. We started with some dances, some line dances, and it was fun. I was barely keeping up. I was I remember trying out for plays back last month for Newsies Productions, and I'm exhausted of dancing. Come on! But I just kept doing it. I never set out, even if I was slow and losing beat, Then we played partner dancing, and I danced with a lot of girl leaders and a lot of partners, and I just kept dancing. I ended up with this one girl who seemed nice, and I ended up with her for the rest of the dances. We went into our little square dance with 3 other couples, and the only time I wasn't dancing with her is when I had to dance my corner partner, or when we did the line square dance, where we have 4 people on this side of the line, and it's in Back to the Future Part 3, if you don't know what I'm talking about, where you have 4 people in this line and 4 people in this line, and you kind of switch back and forth, rotate. Me and another girl named Emma were at the start of the line. That was the very, very, very last dance, but before that, I was with this girl partner, and we did the O-side O something. I pretty much fell in love that night, but it was just Trek, and after that, we went our kind of separate ways a little bit. Surprisingly enough, she was kind of my next door neighbor that when we were camping that night, and so I kept saying hi to her, and went at the end of Trek when we were getting lunch right before we got on the bus on Saturday. I mentioned, hey, you're my partner, you could have me as your brother, and she's like, nah, yeah, whatever. And John, since he's kind of overprotective on me and girls, he's like, no, you shouldn't have said that. On Wednesday, at least my family got, Papa died, and then on Thursday, our mom found gummy worms under a rock. This just reminds me of the Pie in the Road story from 17 Miracles. And then Friday, the oldest brother was supposed to die, and you know how I'm the oldest brother in my family? I was the oldest brother in that family, but then there was a guy named Jack who broke his back, and Joseph Smith game. I couldn't take the death wish. Max had to because he had a sore back. My brother Max, and it was sad. I was hoping to die, but Max had to steal it. I was going to return the favor. I was hoping they would do another note on Saturday, but they didn't. So disappointing. Oh well, that's okay. Even though I didn't get to return the favor. We did find a balloon floating in the middle of the field, and our family was the one who caught it. And we did do a little thing where when anyone had to switch out of the car or needed a break from pulling the car, without stopping, someone would try to crawl under the branches of the car and pull from the inside. We did do another family home meeting after the hoedown, and it was about trusting God, and so that was pretty much the end of that. I couldn't figure out how to work the camera. My brother John taught me how to do it on Thursday. It still didn't work, but then on Friday I took so many pictures, and I took like 20, and then I spent the last 5 of them on Saturday. And I saved the last picture for half when we were like close to the buses and we were in the middle of a field, and I decided to take a picture of my family. So once I do get the 25 pictures, I will have one picture in there of my family. That was pretty much Trek, and then we kind of sang some songs once in a while. We kind of kicked rocks, and one time on Saturday we tried to kick rocks all the way to the buses, but we kept losing them on the trail. So oh well. There was one of my sisters singing the Sound of Music song. Went on the bus, went home, and then someone gave me Max's hat, the guy who sacrificed his life for me. I gave his hat back to him, and I said, thanks for being my brother, and blah, 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 and Trek was over. So that's it for Trek. Sorry, I talked a little bit more on Friday and Saturday than I did on Wednesday and Thursday. That's because I have more memory of what happened on Friday and Saturday. Compared to Wednesday and Thursday, I don't remember much. Other than that, Lightning Mills is out on the Brattlebins, all for one and one for all, for one and one for all. Now's the time to seize the day. Let us seize the day. Lightning Mills is out. This was 5 minutes longer than part 1. The Brattlebins. Bye. 6 minutes now. Dang it. Bye.